What's good, y'all, man? We're back again with another video, and today we are here to do the Power Forwards top 10 Power Forward. Listen, this position is stacked. Like, it's deep. It's a lot of, like, this first time I ever do honorable mentions in these videos because three names that are left off on this list is kind of crazy, and I might even change it. But this position is so stacked. I wouldn't even say it's top heavy, even though the top probably has the best player in the world. Like, this position is very, very deep. And before we get into this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Like I said, we will be dropping every single position at the end of the series. We will be doing a top 50 list, so make sure you stick around for that. But other than that, let's get straight into this video. Now, like I said, I have to do honorable mentions because, like, these names don't even feel real leaving off this list. Julius Randle's left off this list, sadly. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna come back to Julius because him and number 10 is a real debate. Well, him and number 10 and number 9 is a real debate. So I'm gonna come back to Julius. But another honorable mention is Didnt. I feel like Didnt was very, very good this year. Even before the All-Star break, he started off really slow, and like I seen Wizards fans kind of victory lap him because they got Bub, and Bub was pretty good. But then once he picked it up, that shit was quiet. But yeah, didnt is very good. Like, he's very, very good. I think he's a small forward playing the power forward, but they have him and Tumani who are both kind of small forwards, and I do think Didnt is more tasked with guarding the forward, so he's a forward to me. But yeah, Didnt is very, very good. A crazy honorable mention, Jaren Jackson Jr. Damn near All NBA player this year, but the game is just, he's very good. I do think he has an argument for being the best player on that team. Not really a high bar, but I do think he has an argument for that. I think he was very, very good this year. I think he kind of cooled off towards the end of the year, especially when he got hurt. I think the playoffs was terrible, but he played the Thunder, so like, don't really count. It's crazy to say, but like, all-time shit, I'm sorry. If you're not an all-time player, you're not getting off. But I do think he's very, very good. I think his scoring got better. I think he became very elite at attacking mismatches. But like passing, playmaking, don't think that's there yet. Like I said when MJ Nimhard, the defense is very, very good. But when it comes to other like anchors like a Vic or Draymond, Mobley, Chet, their defensive impact is just levels, bro. It's levels. That's why like I think his defense is very good. Let me say it again. It's very, very good. I'm just not high on it. Like when it comes to the best in the world, not high on it. So yeah, he's an honorable mention. But at number 10 and number 9, we're gonna discuss these two together because they kind of go with one of the honorable mentions, and that is Julius. At number 10, I have Draymond. I just feel like he was damn near defensive player of the year this year. I don't know if he was mine or not. I got to check. But damn near defensive player of the year this year. I think he was very good on offense. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, he shot it pretty well this year. He's always going to be a very, very good playmaker. Yeah, I just think his defensive value is damn near probably number 1 in the league, probably after Vic, probably number 2. So I value defense a lot. Like, one thing you'll learn from me, I'm very defense first. That's why Giannis is number 1. Not to say that he's just this elite defender, but Jokic is trash to me. So yeah, that's why I have Draymond here. I just value the defense crazy. And then above him, again, Amen Thompson. 2 defenders that just clear Julius, but he is clearly the better offensive player. But Amen Thompson, just the value that he brings on defense. Like, not even just like staying in front of somebody, but like preventing from somebody from getting the ball and slowing down the offense to where like they're not getting their offense into like it's like 10 seconds left in the shot clock. Like, shit like that is valuable. That's why to me, him and his brother are the best perimeter defenders in the league by far. So that value then on offense, just being one of the best offensive rebounders in the league. And then as soon as he got into that starting lineup, they were already good, but they kind of like took off once he got there. And it's his value. I do think he has an argument. Well, I forgot KD's there, but before I think he had an argument for being the best player on the team. So yeah, I have him at number 9. But Julius is just, I think Julius is very good this year. I think he started off slow, but like that second half, Julius, when he became more of a playmaker, but the Buckets became more efficient on less shots, and then especially in the playoffs, I think he was very good in the playoffs. Not even just the offense. I think the defense was pretty good too. Like I said, I don't tax people for not hooping against OKC. It's OKC. I'm not gonna tax him for not hooping against that. I'm gonna have them as 9, 10, 11. I can't pick who's better. I really can't. So this first time I ever do this, 9, 10, 11. No order. Julius Randle, Amen Thompson, Draymond Green. That's who I have. At number 8, Chet Holmgren. I think Chet, in my opinion, Chet is the best defender in the world. I think before he got hurt, he was on some. Like, I think he was by far defensive player of the year before he got hurt. I don't think it was an argument. Even though Vic was Vic, Chet, like, y'all need to go back and watch. I believe it was 12 games. Go back and watch. It was not close. Chet was dominant, and then on offense he was very good. And then we kind of seen it in the Spurs when he came back, where at times he was very good on offense, at times he was kind of mid. Like, we've definitely seen that in the playoffs. But like I said in the last video with J-Dub, he showed up in every single big game that he needed to show up in, and I think I love that a lot, and I think I give that a lot of credit. And like I said, I do think he's the best defender in the world. I think when it comes to rim protecting, I think he's right after Vic, but even though Vic gets the blocks and the numbers, I don't think it's a huge gap at all. And I think he's way better on the perimeter. So, and I think his timing might be better. I don't think Vic's timing is bad, but he's like, he can be late and still just do that. Like, that's okay, that's cool. But like Chet, like his timing on his blocks, I think that's a little bit better. Like I said, on the perimeter, he's way better to me. So, and I think when it comes to guarding the positions, I think he's probably better too. So yeah, I have Chet as the best defender in the world, and that's who I have at number 8. At number 7, we do have Pascal Siakam. To me, still one of the most underrated players in this league. Shown in the playoffs as the best player for the Pacers throughout the whole run. All-Star. I always find it weird. I always find it weird because it's not the first time it's happened. But how is he was the All-Star and then somebody else on his team was the All-NBA player? I never understood that. And I do think he was better than Hallie this year. Do I think Hallie had the better highs? I will say so. I think second half Hallie was very fucking. But like Pascal the whole year was just pretty fucking good. And then in the playoffs, he was elite to me. I even slept on his defense. I thought it kind of cooled off from what it was in Toronto. But no, he showed in the playoffs. He was very elite on defense. Like I said, always been one of the best 3-level scorers in this league. One of the most efficient scorers in this league. Could have a good playmaker. One of the best transition players in the league. I've always been super high on Pascal. You can go back to 3 years ago on my channel. I think he's one of the most underrated guys in the league. I love Pascal Siakam. This is number 7. So yeah, I have him as the 7th best power forward. And you will see him later on in that top 50 list, and he might be higher than you expected. Now, after reading this last name, I think Pascal has an argument over this name, but I'm not going to get too nasty because this player has great PR, and if I say it, you probably will unclick the video. So I'm just going to say, okay, at number 6, I have Paolo Banchero. That might seem low to you. I'm just not high on Paolo as you. I think Paolo is very good for what he is. I think he's very good. I think he's a good mid-range scorer. I think he's a great tough shot maker. I think at times his playmaking is pretty good. I think his passing is better than his playmaking. His defense is serviceable. It's not terrible, but I think out of the defenders on the Magic, he's probably like the 6th best, and that's not a bad thing. When you're on a team full of elite defenders, like say, you just contributing, that's all you need to do. You don't need to be elite, especially when you're the number 1 guy. So, but I do value defense a lot, and I don't think he's one of the top tier guys. But to me, the reason why I think this argument, I think Pascal is the way better driver, and I think at the 4 position, I kind of value that a lot. I think he's the better playmaker. I do think Paolo is a better passer. I'm gonna switch them. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna have Paolo number 7, and I'm gonna have Pascal number 6. I kind of just persuaded myself into that. Like I said, this is no hate to Paolo. I'm just not as high on Paolo as you guys are, bro. I'm not. I understand it. 27 in the playoffs, cool. A lot of tough shots, a lot of dumbass shots. He's a mid-range scorer that's not really efficient for the mid-range. When he puts his head down, he's unstoppable. Like when he wants to go to the rim, you can't really guard that. 6'10", 250, can't guard that. But that is not in his brain yet to like where I can do that at any time I want. And I kind of tax Jason Tatum for the same thing. So I have to tax him too for that. I think they take very dumb shots. And like I said, I don't think his defense is all that. I think he's okay. So yeah, I'm going to have Pascal number 6, Paolo number 7. At number 5, I got my boy Evan Mobley. I think Evan was the best defensive player this year besides the healthy Chet and the healthy Wemby and maybe Draymond. But I do think he was one of those guys on defense. And I think his offense took us to the next level. I think he was the best player on the Cavs this year. And if they would have let him be the best player in the playoffs, probably wouldn't have lost that series, but that's besides the point. I think he was very elite at attacking mismatches this year. I think his passing was not unlocked this year, but more unlocked than it was in previous years. And I always been kind of high on his passing, and I just feel like we never gave him the opportunity to do that. But I think this year he kind of showed it. The 3-point shot was very, very good, which was surprised the hell out of me. Like that you went from a bad 3-point shooter on low value to a good 3-point shooter on like 3 or 4 a game. So the 3-point shooter was very, very good to me. I'm excited for this year, bro. I'm so excited because I just hope they know this is his team, and I hope they treat it like that to where like, okay, Donovan, you can still take the 19 shots, but if you better not leave a game where you're not taking 17 and you're not right up there with him, and you can look off Donovan whenever you want because we've seen it in the playoffs when he had his shots in the Pacers series, he dominated. They just didn't give him the ball like that. And I think that a lot of that was because Darius wasn't hurt, because Darius was more so the point guard, and he looks to get others involved before himself a lot. And that's kind of something that I don't like. But, yeah, that's what a point guard is supposed to do. And he couldn't do that because he couldn't move. Every time he moved, he fell because he broke his foot. So, yeah, I have Evan here, and I hope we just treat it like it's his team because I think he's one of the 15 best players in the world, maybe 20. Maybe 15. It's between 15 and 20. I think he's that good. And I think in 2-3 years he can be in an MVP race. I'm very high on him already. So that's why I have at number 5. At number 4, this is hard for me, but I have KD. I think KD was the lead this year. I think if KD didn't get hurt, I don't know. I think he I think he twisted his ankle on warm-ups. I think that was this year. I really do think that was this year. And I think that kind of stopped him from being first team All-NBA because before that, he definitely would have been first team All-NBA for me. Just another elite, efficient scoring year from KD. Another very underrated defensive year from KD. I think KD was very good. I think it's getting to the point where he's kind of underrated in this NBA because like other names are just flashier. KD's amazing, bro. There's not a lot you can say about KD. He's 37 doing the same shit he's been doing since he was 21. So, shout out to KD. At number 3, we have Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum, if this might be his second or best year. I think 22, 23, or this year. I might got the years wrong, but I think he had a year better than this. But I do think this was a very good year. I think this was his best playmaking year. I think this was his best passing year. One of his best scoring years. Sucks what happened in the playoffs, and I think he was great at times in the playoffs, but that sucks what happened in the playoffs. I'm hoping that he can come back being the same player that he once was because he was one of the 10 best players in the world. And he's still young, so I think he will be very, very good when he gets back. But, yeah, that injury does suck. But, yeah, he's who I would have at number 3. It kind of sucks, so talking about it. Because the injury's crazy, bro. The injury, like a torn Achilles to 3 of our top stars is just, like, something that hasn't hit me yet. Like, no year with Hallie, no year with Jason Tatum, no year with Damian Lillard. It's crazy to me. But, yeah, that's why I'm at number 3. At number 2, Anthony Davis, to me. Top 5 defender. But, like, in this league, I think 1 through 5 all have an argument for number 1. So, still a very good defender. One of the best, if not the best, play finisher in the league. Still okay on the mid-range. I might even drop him because the playmaking is not good. And the defense did start off pretty mid to start off the year, I will say. But the playmaking is not good. The scoring at time can be inconsistent. But he's going to be asked to do a lot this year, and I think he will be able to do that. Like I said, I value defense a lot. And if you're one of the best defenders in the world, if you have an argument for number 1, I'm going to rate you pretty high. So that's why I have AD at number 2. And then number 1, I have, to me, who is the best player in the world, and damn near, like, so fucking underrated. Like, the MVP... The MVP narrative for Giannis is just like, bro, like, these years, like, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the 7th year in a row where he's like 28 and above, 12 and above, 5 and above on elite efficiency, all-time efficiency for the 7th year in a row. Like, and this year, best playmaking year by far. Best passing year by far. He became one of the best playmakers, passers in the league to me this year. Good mid-range game. Went to the playoffs. Dominated again. And he can't even get a fucking... Now, let me get this straight. Let me say this. Jokic and Shea had all-time seasons. But Giannis had one too. He just plays with fucking Ryan Rollins and Kevin Porter Jr. and Taurean Prince, and they're not gonna win more than 45 games. So I can't really tax him for that. I think Giannis is just amazing. I think Giannis is the best player in the world. I think he is. It's gonna sound wild, but I think he's a better offensive player than Shea. I think Shea's probably the better defensive player at this point. I think it's an argument, but I just think Giannis clears Jokic on defense, so that's why I have him there. And I think Jokic clears on offense, but I think the defensive gap is more larger than the offensive gap, because I think Giannis is also one of the best offensive players of all time, and he's peaking right now. So I have him as the best player in the world. Not a popular take, but I don't give a damn. But other than that, man, that's it for this video. About to go record the Sinners video. Actually, I might record it tomorrow because I got shit to do. But I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.